Hi guys, it's Cara once again. I'm here showing you my collection of Dischidia. I don't have a lot of Dischidia, but this is what I've got. I did tell you one on my video when we were trying to rescue that Dischidia that I'm going to show you what I have. So this Dischidia I'm showing you as well because it has just flowering a lot. It is covered in buds and flowers, and this flower is it doesn't last long. I think in just a few days, maybe 3 or 4 days, and it just dropped after some time, and that is just starting to open, and those are the buds there. Every single stem and what I have is in, and if you see that, see, it's all covered, and the scent of this flower, it's very strong. And you know what I mean, this kitty after all is related to Hoya, which is quite a very strong scent as well. I'm just panning you around while I'm talking to show you the buds that it has, and that's a new growth as well. And it's very nice looking, the new growth, because it's kind of got this lovely color, touch of pink. And yeah, if you could see a bit of reddish on the leaves because of this extreme sun that it has, extreme light that it's exposed to. I have this Dischidia since last year, October 2018, and I never thought that I would grow this plant, but I had it a go, because when I had a look at it, it's quite very, you know, it's not an ordinary plant, you know. And I said to myself, I'll try to grow this, because if I could grow orchid, I probably will be managed to give it you know, the same care. And so yeah, so I did try, and it's growing for me. And I think if you are good in growing orchids and going good in growing Hoyas, I think you could have great chance in making this plant happy. So the scent is very powering, overwhelming. It's everywhere. It's in my bedroom, and it's in my bedroom, and it's covered with buds, and it's the scent really is, it's everywhere. If you enter the room and this is what you could smell, my husband is unable to determine where the scent from, because he keeps saying to me, where's this smell from? And because the more it's have a lot of it, the stronger the scent. And yeah, the last time it flowered for me a few months ago, and it's not just covered, it's just only tiny few flowers, but now it's just fully covered, and the more it's you know, the scent, it's overwhelming. And just like, I think just like Hoya, like my Hoya australis, when it flowered, and it's so good, and if it's a lot of them, it's just overwhelming and overpowering, and it can be a lot too much for me. So yeah, so they said that this Dischidia has to be replanted, as like orchids does, that you have to replant your orchids in a certain time of the year, maybe 2 years. But this one is advised that you have to replant this you know, for every year. But I don't think this will be possible, and I don't think with me I'm gonna replant this one, because if you know, if this is a vase, by the way, and I just make a hole underneath it, this plant I just watered it yesterday. And if you've noticed it, if you have let, oh god, it's heavy, you see those roots, they're growing underneath there. And it's, I know it's been a year, and that's what they said, you have to replant it, but I don't think I would. I'm just, I don't know if I would be able to, and besides, I don't have the pot for it just yet. So yeah, we have to be very careful in, you know, like planting them, you have to be very careful of not destroying or ruining some of the roots, because sometimes it can, most of the time it can be unavoidable, you know. And yeah, this is the plant that wanted to show you, and it's really is you know, I would highly recommend this for you to have, to try and have a go. And as I said, give it the same care as what your orchid or as what your Hoya does, and I'm sure it would be happy under your care. So another plant that I have is this one, Dischidia Obata. This is gorgeous. She is growing a lot. Look at those new growth. They are growing, man. She is growing badly. Yeah, and then see them, they live in my bedroom. Yeah, we are in my bedroom, by the way, so yes. And it's the same care as I give with my orchid, and with the watering thing as well. Like, if you know, every with all of my plants is always what I do. I always like touching their leaf, you know what I mean. And then if they needed water, and there's something as well with the look of the leaf as well, there's something like the sheen of it, and how, if are healthy, it's like if you could send somebody if they are dehydrated, isn't it? And it's the same as plant. You could tell that there's something lacking, that they're lacking water, even though it's from a distance. You can tell straight away what this plant needed water. So yeah, like you can tell somebody is quite dehydrated. It shows in their leaves. So this is my Obata. I had this one this year. I can't remember which month, but yeah, it's growing heavily. And I have the other one as well hanging in my living room downstairs. So yeah. And this one, another one, is my Dischidia Jerry. I'm not sure if it's the right identification. So if you're there familiar with Dischidia, you can always correct me or something. I had this one the same time as I have this Rosifolia, but my Rosifolia is flowering heavily and haven't had a flower for this. It's probably because it's quite a young plant. Like Hoya does, isn't it? Hoya don't flower not until it came to the maturity. It came to this, it will reach to its maturity. What I really particularly like about this plant is the new growth as well. It's the color, it's like a pinkish, and isn't it beautiful? It's such a pretty plant, but you have to be very careful when moving them, because they're very, very delicate, you know, on the bottom of that and the end of every stem. If you knock it, you can easily knock. And this is what I did. Yeah, I've knocked that one, and I got knocked too. I think a few months ago I did that when I was moving them. And then you would say to yourself, oh shoot. And then yeah, it's very, very lovely plant. And as I said, it's not very hard to look after. Well, for me it isn't. Sometimes people would say, I'm watching somebody's video as well, you know, and then they're saying that ferns are not so hard to look after, but my God, it is under my care. It's fine. Ferns are very dramatic. They very wanted your attention. So yeah, this plant, look at that. This is a pot, and yeah, look at that roots is coming out. So yeah, so this is my other Dischidia, and I said I hope my other Dischidia that we have, both of us have rescued, would be in good health. At the minute, there's still intensive care, because it went to the extent that me not realizing about it, that it's been breaking it from the main root, and it's quite very dehydrated. And rescuing a very dehydrated plant, you are there not too sure about. So some of it are growing, but it's still not worth it to show you though. So I'm hoping, cross fingers and my toes, that those will survive on me. So one of these days we'll get an update whether he has growth or, you know, progress further or not. Maybe next year perhaps, on springtime. So yeah, so this is all the video, guys. As I've promised before, I wanted to show you my Dischidia. some of my Dischidia collection, and I hope I did inspire you. On one of these days, you're gonna have one of them in your care. Yeah, guys. So as I said, and I would say goodbye and God bless, and thank you for watching. Bye, guys.